Commander Aaron Voss had never disobeyed an order. Not once in 22 years of service. He had been trained from childhood on the fortress world of Karos Prime, where emotions were considered weaknesses and hesitation was treason. The Dominion did not recruit soldiers, it manufactured them. Aaron had excelled. He rose faster than any of his peers, not because he was ruthless, but because he was precise, efficient, calculated. He completed missions with minimal loss, of Dominion forces at least. The others called him the Silent Blade. He didn't speak much, didn't question, didn't hesitate. And that was exactly why he was chosen. The mission arrived without ceremony. A sealed transmission. Black clearance. Priority absolute. Aaron stood alone in the command chamber aboard his warship, the Resolute, as the holographic figure of High Executor Malvek flickered into existence. "Commander Voss," Malvek said, his voice cold and measured. "You have been assigned a termination operation." "Coordinates?" Aaron asked. Malvek's eyes glowed faintly. "Designation, Irinder System. Target, Planet Selim." Aaron processed quickly. Selim, a neutral world. No military installations. No recorded hostility. "Objective?" he asked. Malvek paused, as if savoring the moment. "Total eradication." For the first time in 22 years, Aaron hesitated. "Confirm," he said slowly. "Complete planetary purge. Atmospheric ignition. No survivors." The words echoed in the chamber like a fracture in reality. Aaron's voice remained steady. "Reason? That is not within your clearance. I require tactical context. You require obedience." Silence. The air seemed to tighten around him. Then Malvek leaned closer. "Selim has harbored insurgent sympathizers. Their existence is inconvenient." "Inconvenient," Aaron repeated. "Carry out the order, Commander." The transmission ended. Aaron stood motionless. A lifetime of conditioning urged him forward. Execute the order. Do not question. Do not feel. But something small, unfamiliar, stirred beneath the surface. A flicker. He dismissed it. "Prepare for jump to Irinder System," he ordered. The crew responded instantly. The warship moved. And with it, fate. Middle the moment of refusal. Selim was beautiful. It wasn't supposed to be. Aaron had seen countless worlds, burned worlds, shattered worlds, conquered worlds. Beauty was something the Dominion erased. But Selim, it was blue. Oceans that shimmered like glass. Clouds drifting in soft spirals. Cities that glowed, not with military precision, but with life. Aaron watched from the observation deck. "Population?" he asked. "Approximately 8.7 billion, replied Lieutenant Sarah. "Military presence?" "Minimal. Civil defense only." Aaron nodded slowly. Then he gave the order. "Prepare atmospheric ignition." The crew moved into action. Weapon systems activated. Fusion arrays charged. A single command would turn the sky into fire. Aaron walked to the command console. His hand hovered over the execution panel. Just one motion. That was all. "Commander," Sarah said quietly, "permission to speak freely." Aaron didn't look at her. Denied. A pause. "Then I'll speak anyway." That caught his attention. He turned. Sarah met his gaze, not with defiance, but with something far more dangerous. Conviction. "This isn't war," she said. "This is extermination." Aaron's expression hardened. "That distinction is irrelevant. It shouldn't be. It is not your place. It is if we're about to murder billions of people." The word hung in the air. Murder. Aaron had heard it before. From enemies. From rebels. Never from within. "Orders are orders," he said. Sarah shook her head. "No." Orders are choices someone else made. We're the ones who carry them out. Erin stepped closer. Careful, Lieutenant. Or what? She asked. You'll execute me too? Silence. Then softer. Look at it, Commander. He already had. But he looked again. At the oceans. The lights of cities. The fragile, living world beneath them. Permission to show something, Sarah said. Erin hesitated, then nodded. She activated a projection. Images filled the room. Children playing in sunlight. Families gathered. Music. Laughter. Life. Not statistics. Not targets. People. Erin felt it again. That flicker. Stronger now. Uncomfortable. Dangerous. Why are we doing this? Sarah asked. Erin didn't answer. Because he didn't know. And that was new. The console chimed. Weapons ready. Awaiting command. The moment had arrived. Erin stepped forward. His hand hovered again. He could end it all. In seconds. No hesitation. No consequence. Just another mission. But this time, he hesitated. His mind replayed everything he had been taught. Obedience is survival. Emotion is weakness. The dominion is absolute. Then something else surfaced. A question he had never allowed himself to ask. What if they're wrong? Commander, Sarah whispered. Erin closed his eyes. And for the first time in his life, he made a decision. Stand down, he said. The bridge went silent. No one moved. No one breathed. Cancel the operation, Erin continued. Power down weapons. Commander, one officer began. That's an order. Systems shut down. The hum of destruction faded. And in its place, there was something else. Something fragile. Something terrifying. Hope. You just committed treason, Sarah said quietly. Erin looked at the planet below. Yes, he replied. I did. The consequence. The Dominion responded immediately. Of course it did. By the time the Resolute attempted to leave orbit, 3 Dominion warships had already arrived. Black hulls. Silent engines. Unforgiving. A transmission came through. High Executor Malvek. You have failed your mission, Commander. I have, Erin said. Explain. I will not carry out that order. Malvek's expression did not change. You misunderstand. You already have. Erin frowned. Malvek gestured. Observe. The screen shifted. Another fleet. Larger. Deadlier. Positioned on the far side of Selim. You are a test, Malvek said. A measure of loyalty. You failed. And now? Erin asked. Now we proceed without you. The weapons of the Dominion fleet began to charge. Erin's chest tightened. He had refused. But it wasn't enough. The planet would still burn. Unless, Erin turned to his crew. Prepare for engagement. They stared at him. We're outnumbered, one said. I'm aware. We'll be destroyed. Probably. Sarah stepped forward. What are you thinking? Erin's voice was calm. We're going to stop them. The turning point. The battle was impossible. 1 ship against 3. Then against 10. Then against an entire fleet. But Erin didn't fight to win. He fought to delay. The longer we hold them, he said, the more time Selim has to evacuate. Evacuate where? Sarah asked. Anywhere but here. They transmitted warnings to the planet. Opened emergency channels. Guided civilian ships into hyperspace corridors. And they fought. The Resolute moved like a living thing. Precise. Unpredictable. Every shot calculated. Every maneuver intentional. They destroyed 1 ship. Then another. But it wasn't enough. The Dominion fleet closed in. Surrounded them. Commander, Sarah said. We're out of options. Erin looked at the tactical display. at the ships, at the planet, at the lives still escaping. Then he made his final decision. Set a collision course. Sarah froze. You're not serious. I am. You'll destroy us. Yes. And them. Yes. She stared at him. Then slowly, she nodded. For Selim, she said. Ending. The soldier who changed the galaxy. The Resolute accelerated. Straight into the heart of the Dominion fleet. Alarms blared. Weapons fired. Shields collapsed. But Aaron didn't waver. Evacuation complete, Sarah said. He allowed himself a small breath. Then he gave the final command. Engage core overload. The ship became a star. The explosion tore through the Dominion fleet. Ships shattered. Formations broke. The attack on Selim stopped. And in that moment, something changed. Across the galaxy, the story spread. A Dominion commander who refused. At first, it was dismissed. Then denied. Then suppressed. But truth has a way of surviving. Soldiers began to question. Officers hesitated. Entire units refused orders. Not all at once, but enough. The Dominion, built on absolute obedience, begins to fracture. Worlds that had lived in fear began to rise. Not in violence, but in defiance. The explosion of the Resolute did more than destroy ships. It shattered certainty. For decades, the Dominion had been an unbreakable force. Its soldiers did not question. Its commanders did not hesitate. Its citizens did not resist. Because they believed resistance was impossible. Because they believed obedience was survival. Aaron Voss proved them wrong. At first, the Dominion moved quickly to erase him. Official reports labeled him a traitor, a malfunction, a defect in an otherwise perfect system. All records of Commander Aaron Voss were ordered deleted. His name struck from every database. His existence denied. But they made one mistake. They underestimated witnesses. The survivors of Selim remembered. Every civilian transport that escaped. Every child who lived. Every family that saw the sky burn and then somehow stop. They told a story. Quietly at first. Whispers across refugee channels. Fragments of intercepted transmissions. A single line repeated over and over. A Dominion commander saved us. Then came the recordings. Lieutenant Sarah had known they wouldn't survive. So she left something behind. A data beacon, hidden in the wreckage field. Encoded. Protected. Waiting. When it was finally recovered months later, the truth spread like wildfire. Across smuggler networks. Across neutral systems. Even into the Dominion itself. The final moments of Commander Aaron Voss were no longer rumor. They were undeniable. The galaxy watched as the recording played. A calm voice. Steady. Unshaken. Log entry. Commander Aaron Voss. A pause. If this is found, then we failed to survive. But perhaps we succeeded in something else. Static flickered. The Dominion teaches us that obedience is strength. That emotion is weakness. That questioning is treason. Another pause. I was the perfect soldier. His voice softened, just slightly. And I was wrong. The recording shifted. The image of Selim appeared. Blue. Alive. Beautiful. I was ordered to destroy this world. Silence. I chose not to. The feed crackled as alarms echoed in the background. Not because I am a hero. Not because I am brave. But because, for the first time, I asked why. A final breath. If you are hearing this, then you can ask why too. The recording ended. It was enough. Across the Dominion, something unprecedented began to happen. Not rebellion. Not war. Something far more dangerous.
Doubt.
A weapons officer hesitated before firing. A captain questioned a command. A squad refused to execute civilians. At first, they were punished. Publicly. Harshly. The Dominion tried to crush the cracks forming in its foundation. But cracks spread. Because Aaron Voss had not just defied an order. He had given others permission to think. Entire fleets began to falter. Operations failed. Not from enemy resistance, but from internal hesitation. Command chains broke. Trust eroded. The Dominion had always relied on one truth, that its soldiers would obey without question. Now they couldn't be sure. Years passed. Slowly, painfully, the Dominion weakened. Not through a single war, but through 1,000 small refusals. And then, one day, it ended. Not with a final battle, not with a grand surrender, but with silence. Orders stopped coming. Fleets stood down. Worlds once occupied simply were not anymore. The Dominion didn't fall. It unraveled. And at the center of that unraveling was a single moment, a single choice, a single man. On Selim, life flourished. Cities rebuilt. Children grew up hearing a story that sounded almost impossible. A soldier was told to destroy us, and he refused. Lieutenant Sarah's name was remembered too, not as a subordinate, but as the voice that helped spark the question. Together they became symbols, not of war, but of something greater.
Choice.
Decades later, a young student stood before the monument on Selim. He traced the engraved words with his fingers. Was he real? The student asked. An older teacher smiled. Yes, she said. He was real. The student frowned. But he was just one person. The teacher nodded. That's all it ever takes.